Hey, Carney.
What's up, dude?
Dude, hat live, dude. We got these.
Make roofing great again.
Yeah,
dude.
make roofing great again. Yeah. Well, why don't you introduce yourself? Talk about how you're making roofing great again. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously here we are, RoofCON 2024. So it's kind of like our coming out party, man. We're excited to be here with ProLine, and yeah. So I'll give you a Cliff Notes version on myself, a little bit of a background on the company, kind of what brought us here today with Make Roofing Great Again hats buzzing around all over the place. So I've been around construction literally my entire life, man. At a young age, I got hammer nailed 2x4s. I'm like 3 years old. They got a photo of it at the booth. I look like I can hardly walk, but I'm putting things together. So great-grandfather, grandfather, father, all those guys developed houses. Dad got into a little bit more custom homes, custom remodels, and when it was time to either get out of high school and go to college and spend 40 grand a year, or put on a tool belt and make 40 grand a year, I elected to try and make a couple bucks and throw a tool belt on, help Dad, and we were pounding nails, building custom homes, and I just kind of audited the situation. I'm like, dude, we are way different than your average contractor. Like, we do a great job, we got referrals, we're making some money, but like, we can do a lot more with this. And father and son, Dad had been doing it for 30 plus years. Like, he earned his stripes, he was good. And I was 21 years old, 22, ambitious, wanted to take on the world, and just at different points in time, different points in our professional career. I went to Dad, I'm like, hey, I want to take this thing to the moon, and just, once again, different points in life, and he put in 30 years. He wasn't ready to risk it and have all these headaches and everything like that, so decided that I was going to step out on my own in 2017. At 22 years old, I had $2,500 in my bank account, and just tried to figure it out, tried to make a couple bucks, and really at the time it wasn't about building a national brand, it was about just trying to make some money and figure out what the next move was. And got into the industry, got very fortunate. Hailstorm hit a couple months into me like starting to do roofing full time. Ran the storm. Our first 365 days in business, we did $2.3 million. After that, it snowballed. In our first 4 years, we got up to making $15 million in annual. And then once again, kind of took a step back, audited my situation. Private equity, as you're aware, is heavily involved in our space, and this is like 2021, 2022. Yeah. They're knocking on my door. I'm 26 years old. I got a company that does $15 million in annual, and private equity is annoying the shit out of my customers. I mean, not my customers, my clerical staff, calling, hey, can we talk to Carney, blah, blah, blah. We want to buy your company. My employees are fearful that I'm about to sell, and it was just a chaotic time for like 2 years. And we looked at it, we knew the consolidation was happening. A lot of people that we were around, a little bit older generation, had seen all this happen in the hardware industry. You've seen it in medical, you've seen it in hospitality, like hotels and stuff like that. Everybody has rolled up. So we were kind of seeing and foreshadowing what the roofing and exterior industry was going to look like. And once again, 26 years old, is a couple $1 million going to ride me till the rest of my life? Probably not. Sign a 3-year non-compete. All I know is construction. So we decided that we were gonna run with those guys. We were gonna try to grow to be one of those dominant brands within the nation. And the way that we were doing it, we realized that there were some downfalls to that. If you're trying to grow as a corporate model, you need really good leadership. And it's not leadership in our roles, right? It's leadership below us. And your managers, it takes time for them to mature. You're paying 6-figure salaries to people to manage territories and stuff like that. And it was scalable, but it didn't go very fast. You have a manager that manages an entire state. For that person to really mature into that role, how long could that take? 3 years, 5 years, right? So we saw that franchising was a very attractive option to rally other owner-operators, because we want employees that act like owners. Well, in franchising, the franchisees are owners. So like you're rallying a bunch of troops, everybody's on the same team, they're all owners, all going after the same goal, which which is to service customers and make money.
Yeah.
So we decided to change our focus from just a corporate model to a franchise concept in the summer of 2022. We franchising federally regulated. It's a lot of red tape. It costs a lot of money to be able to do it. But we were able to go to market in 2023. In the spring of 2023, we brought our first location on, and then fast forward to right now in October of 2024, about 14 months or so after opening that first location, we have 20 locations, and we are very quickly approaching a point in time where we're going to be bringing in 3 to 5 locations a month. So it's fun, man. It's exciting. I do have like 2 really big things that, like, whether it's our company or any company, they could apply these principles. At least the first one, the customer comes first. Whether it's a franchise, whether it's my location, I own a location in South Central Pennsylvania, or the concept as a whole, it all starts with one customer. Every single customer matters, and our customers have to have the best experience that we can possibly provide them with, because I want a customer for life. I want somebody who will, if we did the roof, will call us for windows in 2 years, or whenever they're referring business, they hear somebody who needs a roof or siding or windows and doors, I want them to think about CR3 in 3 years from now, and how do we stay relevant, and how do we give them the best transaction possible but stay relevant in their life so that they can't forget about us, right? Yep. So that's #1 priority for me and us at CR3. And then the second priority is happy, successful franchisees. Personal goals drive businesses. Like, we all have personal goals, and whatever those personal goals are, that's usually why we get into business, is to support those personal goals. So as long as the franchisees are meeting or exceeding those goals, and they're happy, successful franchisees, then we're going to be good. We're doing our job. Customers are taken care of. Happy, successful franchisees, we're going to be just fine. So in a nutshell, that's who we are, what we're about, and kind of what brought us here today.
Yeah, I love that focus. You're very clear on like what we want.
You mentioned exactly what we're after.
Yeah. So I'll sit in the seat of a roofing contractor that maybe I have a reasonable sized company. Maybe I even have some private equity kind of knocking on my door, wanting to chat a little bit. And I'm meeting you. I'm here at RoofCON. I'm meeting you.
Right.
Talk to me about the opportunity that CR3 can offer me as an alternative to continuing to operate on my own or go private equity or something like that.
The private equity conversation is a very popular one in our industry right now, and really it's kind of 2 different target audiences. Look at us as me and Lester, who you've met, we were kind of joking about it a day or 2 ago. We're like the minor leagues. We're like we are like professional baseball. Like, you got to go somewhere before you can graduate to the big leagues and sell to private equity. You want to sell your company for $10 million. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things that need to happen in order to get you to that exit. If you want to exit, we can help you. We can help you get there. But in order to get there, there's steps that need to be taken. There's milestones. There's revenue goals that need to be met. And how are you going to get there? You know what I mean? So if private equity and an exit is your goal, you need to have a clear plan on how to get there. If you're doing $3 million in revenue and you don't know how to get to 15, well, we documented everything when we got to 15. You know what I mean? So if you're a roofing contractor, I would tell you that if you're looking for that next growth phase to get you, whether it's legacy, you want to pass it down to future generations, kids, you want to hold on to it so it can be a source of revenue or income for you, or you want to exit one day, you have to have a plan, and the franchise route is essentially kind of like the easy button, right? We have done I call it R&D. We've done all the R&D. We've met with the CRM companies. We've brought in employees to do certain jobs, good and bad. And I've spent who knows how much money. I don't even know the true dollar amount. I know it's well over $1 million in the last 6 years to get us where we are today, that our franchisees and potential franchisees, they don't have to spend that money. There's group benefits where we are building we already have built it, but we have an internal agency, an internal marketing agency. And instead of you hiring a third party to do your marketing, the people that do our marketing only market for CR3. Their only focus is roofing exterior leads for the brand CR3. Like, they're not soliciting business for anybody else. It's very niche. And then you have all the other benefits, the reduced pricing on CRM systems, the reduced pricing on aerial imagery, obviously your material benefits and stuff like that. There's a tremendous amount of benefits within the franchise concept, but the big thing is understanding what that relationship looks like. If you're an owner and you want to do it your way, the franchise concept's not for you, and that's fine. Like, everybody has their thing, but if you're looking for something that is duplicatable, that there's a proven track record of success, that as long as you run the play, it's like a sports play, as long as you run the play and you block here and you tackle here and you run the sweep on the outside, it will be successful. But if you try to run the play and one of your players does something totally different and off course from what the play called, it could end up being catastrophic, right?
Yeah.
So to be a great franchisee, you have to be coachable, and you have to be able to, nobody as humans, we're never going to follow a system to a T. Every single one of us, when we break into a box and we order something on Wayfair, and especially men, we throw away the instructions and try to figure it out later. Like, we're terrible at following instructions. Like, you get a brand new TV, you don't even look at it, you just turn it on and start figuring it out. Our iPhones, they come with instructions, we never look at them, we just turn them on and figure it out. So as humans, we're really bad at following instructions, but as long as you can follow a model and a framework 80-90% of the time, then a franchise might be a good option for you. If the opposite, 80% of the time you want to do your own thing, it's not a good option for you, because you're gonna fight what we've already done. You're gonna try to reinvent the wheel. You're gonna end up spending unnecessary money, and at that rate, you should just do it yourself.
Yeah, no, I love that. Like, why reinvent the wheel, though? And I mean, and maybe, like you're saying, some people just need to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But if your goal is to have a great life, have a great livelihood, and make as much money as you can, have the best business that you can, why reinvent the wheel when there's a proven model that you can follow?
Yeah, and you have to understand you have to, like, understand who you are and yourself and your strengths and stuff like that. Not everybody is Elon Musk. Like, not everybody is you. Not everybody's me. There's people who are way better than us, and there's people who can't do what we do, right? You have to understand the type of person you are. If you want the freedom and flexibilities of being a business owner, but you don't want to reinvent the wheel, you don't want to spend unnecessary additional funds like we had to starting up, if you don't want to go through all the trials and tribulations and the heartache and the mistakes, then a franchise, once again, it's like a shortcut. Instead of starting at zero and figuring it all out, you're 75% of the way there. You just got to run the play and then obviously put in the work to make it all happen. If I gave you a screwdriver and you don't actually use it to unscrew the screw in the little light fixture cover, it's no good. Like, I can give you the tools, but if you don't actually use them, then they're no good to you.
Yeah, so we gotta use the tools. So make sure I understand this correctly. It sounds like someone can become a franchisee, follow your proven model, and then still exit to private equity later?
Absolutely. And go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish.
Well, I was gonna. Are there limitations there, or is it like any private equity? Is it like private equity that's associated with CR3, or like how does that?
Great question. So it's not just private equity though. It could be a private investor. The beautiful thing about franchising is when you have, like, imagine like we like to refer to the big guys that everybody knows, but like Chick-fil-A. Yeah. If you have a Chick-fil-A and it's up for sale in your hometown, but there's a Chick-fil-A and it's 5 miles down the road, pretty high probability that person might want your location, right? Yeah. They know the system, they know the process, they know the success, they know what they've already done over here, and they know that if they get their hands on yours, what they can do with it, right? Same thing in a franchise concept like this. Not only can you sell to independent parties, other individual investors, whether it be or maybe private equity, you can also sell to the network of other CR3 locations. So if I own a location in Pennsylvania and I'm interested in some warmer weather, well, you already have a team down here in Florida, you have 5-6 guys, you want $2 million for your location, and I'm doing well in my business, well, I'll I'll buy it from you, and I already know that it's part of the system. Your staff is trained, and I just got to go ahead and do what I do, and it's a wrap from there. But to answer your question, the only thing that we ask from a franchise side is just that we properly get a chance to vet the individual like we would a normal franchise candidate, and that they're able to be a part of our system. Obviously, we can't have somebody come in and ransack the entire system, because our attorney says it all the time. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Meaning, if you stray from the concept, you could jeopardize another party, not just corporate, but you could be jeopardizing your fellow franchisees. So we just have to verify that the person is accredited, essentially, and as long as they fit the mold, we don't have any issues. We want you to, once again, meet your personal goals. If your personal goals are to sell, we're going to try to do everything in our power to get you there, because you're going to be the best spokesperson ever for our brand. If we help you to scale and exit in 5 years and it was the best return on your investment that you could ever have gotten, you're probably going to buy another one, or you're definitely going to be a great advocate of our brand. And that's what we're here for. We're here to help people achieve their personal goals, and the rest of it will fall into place.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that your franchise, and I just don't have a ton of familiarity with the model. Maybe this is just always how it works, but I love how your franchisees have the ability, they're still building equity in their business, and building that value in their business. If anything, that just, being part of the franchise may just make it an easier exit if that's what they want to do later on.
And I don't know. I don't work for private equity. We're actually trying to have dinner with somebody down here tonight, just to pick their brain on what they're looking for versus what we're looking for. But if I'm an independent, would you rather invest in Carney's Fried Chicken, or would you rather invest in Chick-fil-A? And let's say my Carney's Fried Chicken is a buy-in of I'm selling it to you for $1 million, or you can buy Chick-fil-A for 1.5. Which do you feel, it might cost more for Chick-fil-A, but which do you feel is a more sound investment for you and your family and your future? You know what I mean? And that's not 100% the case, but a large majority of the time it is.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. Have you seen The Founder? I'm sure.
Of what?
The Founder, the movie?
Oh, yeah, with Ray Kroc.
Ray Kroc, yeah. That's there's a scene there. It just popped into my head when you were talking about, someone coming in and like trying to change the model all up, not following the process. There's that scene where he sold some franchises to some people, and then he shows up and they got like all kinds of goofy stuff going on.
And the brothers are freaking out.
And so I mean it makes sense. It makes sense. But that's what popped into my head. Well,
it's crazy to think that people are so reluctant to change that, like, those guys, I mean, I don't know, like, I know the movie, but who knows what really ended up happening. But to me, when I watched the movie, the whole time I'm thinking these brothers are afraid of change. Did you get that from the movie?
Yeah,
and change is a great thing, and that's where the growth happens. But people and society, like, we're so afraid of change. You take a random person and put them at this table with us right now. Now, if they're like us, they'll do okay. But like 80% of the population, you put them at this table right now, they clam up and freeze up because they don't know how to communicate with people. But everybody's just so afraid of change, and those guys lost out on billions and billions and billions of dollars worth of opportunity because they were just they were stuck in their ways. They thought what they had was good enough, and like their way of doing it was the way to do it. And I'm sure they made a couple bucks, but it could have been what, 70,000 locations.
You got to embrace the change. How do you see our industry, the roofing industry, changing? Where are the winds blowing in your mind?
They're blowing hard. I think massive consolidation. I don't know how quick it's going to happen, and I don't know to what extent it's going to happen, but it is going to happen. We're seeing it. You see it. Everybody at this event sees it. Consolidation is going to happen. Is there going to be 10 contractors in 10 years from now? I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. But the consolidation is very real. So strategic partnerships are very important right now. Getting aligned with people who are rising towards the top is how you're, in my opinion, going to solidify your fate over the next 5 to 10 years. And technology. I mean, technology moves so fast, and like AI is like, I don't know whether to love it or be terrified of it. Like, it could, is it going to replace me and you one day? I don't know. It's technology is crazy, and trying to keep up with it is very difficult, and trying to differentiate between like what's smoke and mirrors and what's actually legit. The consolidation mixed with the technology, it just creates this crazy environment, and things move, or they're moving crazy quick. We have some AI technology right now that, I mean, our franchisees can run an ad in the middle of the night on Facebook and Instagram. It'll A/B split test. It'll allocate more funds towards the ad that's working well, and like that's a full-time job. But like AI and technology, AI doesn't get tired. AI doesn't ask for a raise. AI doesn't it doesn't ask for overtime pay. Like it can work 24/7, 365, and figuring out how it fits into our business, and we can accomplish what we need to accomplish, but the end user is still getting a great customer experience. That's the thing that concerns me the most about technology is we have salespeople and consultants that help customers make an educated decision. And I'm concerned that the more saturated our industry gets with technology, that we're going to streamline things as business owners. We're going to try to reduce overhead. We're going to try to streamline everything because we're concerned about our four walls, but I'm concerned that the customer might suffer. You know what I mean? Because nothing is going to replace, if you're my customer and we just finished your job and you have a ripped screen, nothing's going to replace me coming to your house, apologizing to you, pulling your screen out, rescreening it, putting it back, shaking your hand, saying, I'm so sorry for the inconvenience, really value you as a customer. If you ever need anything, please give me a call. I don't know how technology could ever replace that, but I think the companies that learn to embrace that technology and use it to augment their business and use it strategically to make sure that it's helping that customer experience and not altering it to a negative point, and they're still able to put that personal touch and us still be able to get, we call it belly to belly with our customers, shake hands, kiss babies. I think those are the companies that are going to win. And you got to embrace change though. So if with all the technology going on, you have to be willing to adapt. You have to be willing to come to conferences like this and learn and understand what is going on in the industry, because in 90 days, everything could completely change, and you could be left sitting in the rear view mirror saying, how come I have no leads, but these guys are getting 400 leads a week?
Yep. No, absolutely. And I think I love that belly to belly. I mean, I think if you can embrace the technology and you can automate as much as you can automate, it gives you more time for the belly to belly. That's the way I look at it. It's 100%. Like it's not necessarily about replacing people, but let's let the people go out and do what people do best. Which is connect with other human beings, right? So like if you got your sales reps sitting in the office all day on a Friday doing follow-up Friday, manually sending emails and texts that could be automated. That's a whole Friday that could have been out 100%. Getting belly to belly and making human connections. People radiate things off of them, right? Like we're sitting here, we got this energy radiating off of us, and I just don't know how technology could ever replace that. I mean, there's people that you meet who will come into your life. It might be somebody who does your roof, and you just feel that they're like a genuine, great, good person, and they do a good job. They execute. They did what they said they were going to do. They held up to their end of the deal, and you feel like you got a bond and a relationship with that person where you want to see them do well.
once again, I don't know how technology could replace that. And I just hope that with everything and all the technology and AI and innovation and stuff like that, that stuff doesn't get lost, because that's what the property owners need. And without property owners, without us selling jobs, without leads going into your CRM system, we're nothing. So we need to make sure that we are not just looking at it through our lens, that we're looking at it through the customer's lens, because they're the ones that make the whole machine go around. They're the reason that every single person here is here right now, is because of the customers that pay us.
Yep. So 100%. 100%. Well, thanks, Carney. I really appreciate the time.
Likewise,
great conversation, and a lot of gems in there. And
we're gonna make roofing great again.
Make roofing great again, man. I'm excited to see where CR3 is headed. So
likewise,
really
man.
excited.
We're excited to see what you guys are doing. You guys are being innovative. You're young. You're smart. You're building technology in real time versus trying to recreate it like some of the other players in the industry. And we're excited to see what ProLine does.
I appreciate that, sir. I appreciate that.
Thanks, dude.
All right.